I'm Reagan Ward. I'm the Education Workforce Coordinator at the Southern Regional Chamber, and I'm excited to welcome you to our 2024 Explore Building Trades Career Chat with our guest, Sean O'Brien. Let's get started. So, Sean, how about you give me a quick introduction of yourself and where you work?
Yeah, love to. So again, Sean O'Brien. I'm the executive director of a thing called MACIAF. That's an acronym for the Michiana Area Construction Industry Advancement Fund. Sounds really complicated. Basically, what it means is that we represent a lot of contractors in the area, a lot of the larger contractors that build projects at schools and Notre Dame
Mhm.
and hospitals and that kind of stuff. And we help to support them. We do educational things, and we help to represent construction in general in the area. So we're really excited to talk to young people about joining the construction trades, and that's why I'm here today.
Awesome. So, can you maybe do a deeper dive in what exactly you all do?
In construction in general, or what we're up to?
Let's start with construction in general and then move on to
Sure.
what you're up to.
So there's, construction runs the gamut. And I think a lot of kids that are in building trades programs are familiar with a lot of residential size construction. But, all of the big buildings, all of the complicated tech stuff, all of the fun buildings that they've experienced, basketball arenas and football stadiums and all of that stuff gets built by hand, by contractors, by
Mhm.
workers. And, um, we work in a lot of different avenues with that to support and promote anything that can help construction. So
Mhm.
the Michiana Builders Association, let me see, that's up here on my behind me, is a builders association in our area. Some people might be familiar with the Home Builders Association, and that's what they deal with, home building. So we deal with all of the commercial stuff, all of the bigger stuff. Construction is all of these different entities, buildings that people have memories made in. And that's the kind of thing that we want to let people understand that construction is a pathway to a lifetime, to a career.
Mhm. So now let's move on to the other part of that question. What specifically are you guys up to then?
So we've been working with our partners at Notre Dame, with the
Hmm.
chamber, with the St. Joe Valley Building Trades Council, our union worker partners, and trying to recruit into the construction industry because we are at an unprecedented amount of construction right now.
Hmm.
Some people, I don't know if the audience here today is familiar, but General Motors is going to build a $3.5 billion battery plant on the west side of South Bend. There's another project that's going to happen out there that's potentially even larger than that. So just the normal projects, Memorial Hospital putting up a new patient tower, Notre Dame building a series of buildings. There is just an unprecedented amount of work going on around here. So we're out here, and right now our focus, and again, our thing is
Hmm.
trying to let people know about the construction industry and about what opportunities are there for them.
So how many workers do you think are going to be needed to accomplish those projects?
Ah, um, Currently, I would, I don't know a hard number. I'm sorry, I don't have the answer to that, but there are thousands of construction workers in our area. The reality is that we will need thousands more.
Hmm.
There is an opportunity for, and it will be part of the solution for these projects that we've talked about, to bring people in from the outside, from other
Hmm.
areas in the country. But we want to grow our own industry right here, and we want to recruit people into those trades. So the reality is, if you go to if you want to join a union apprenticeship in our area, they will take you right now. If you're a graduating senior and you have any interest in construction, being outside, having an opportunity for change. Construction is a great career track that things vary quite a bit, so you don't get stuck
Hmm.
into a rut of doing the same thing over and over again. But those construction union apprenticeship programs will take you right now.
So what kind of advice do you have for those who are interested in getting into the trades?
Uh, if you're still in school and you're interested in anything to do in the trades, get involved in your school construction programs, whatever they are. Work with your family if there's family members that like to build stuff. The more you can learn about construction, the more that you can prepare yourself for what that all looks like.
Mhm.
Some of the construction trades are heavily focused on craftsmanship. Some of them are more focused on uh, the labor side of it, just the actual physical hard work. Some of them are focused on technology. There's a lot of different avenues.
Thank you. So let's talk a little bit about your career pathway and how you got there. So now that we've heard kind of an overview of your organization,
Right?
so where did you start and how did you end up to where you are?
Um, a long time ago when I was in high school, um, at least at my high school, shop classes were mandatory. That was a thing that you had to take some kind of shop class. And so you did things hand-on. I learned to make, uh, ashtrays and little notepads and things out of wood. And well, one of the pieces that we did in that shop class was drafting, learning to
Hmm.
draw, but architectural drawing. And I was immediately hooked. And I went off to college and majored in architecture and became an architect. And that's one side of the construction industry that somebody can get involved in. But it was absolutely those shop classes that showed me that and put me on that pathway. So again, I recommend that if you have any interest at all and your school offers something in the CTE universe related to construction, take it, go do it, try it, get your hands dirty.
Well, thank you for sharing that. So, do you have any takeaways for those tuning in? Like, I know you've kind of mentioned, like, oh, take some shop classes or, something like that. But if you had to name three different things, what would those three things be?
So I think it's things that people already bring to the table. I'm not sure that it's things that they need to chase. And so if you like doing something with your hands, I mean, obviously, all of these great buildings, and I don't know if people always think about this, but construction is an industry where you still do everything by hand. Every single piece of a building, no matter how big it is touched by human hands in order to create it, build it, install it, and if you like to do stuff with your hands, it is definitely a career path. If you like the challenge and the pride in achieving that challenge, construction
Hmm.
is great. It's wonderful to sit back and look at some major building and say, wow, I had a big hand in that. I did stuff. I'm responsible for the part of that. So if you take pride, that's a good thing. And a third thing, uh, I would say that again, the variability. Do you want to work inside? Do you want to work outside? Do you want to make money? There's a fourth thing. Construction, a lot of people don't realize this. In the commercial side of construction, there's a pretty good opportunity to make a six-figure salary. I don't think people realize you can make $100,000 as a construction worker with a retirement, with healthcare,
Hmm.
things that kids don't think about, but I bet the parents do.
Okay, so now we're moving on to a question in the chat, which is, are there jobs in the construction industry for people who aren't hands-on tradespeople?
Absolutely. So again, as I mentioned at the beginning of this, we represent the contractors in the area. Construction is done by a team. There are workers in the field that build the buildings, and there are people that manage that construction process from the office. And there's tech involved in that. You can get a 4-year construction management degree at Purdue offers it. Ivy Tech in certain areas offers a 2-year construction management program. And there are people that get involved in as project managers and as estimators to determine what things cost. And so there's a whole series of jobs, marketing, accounting. I mean, all of that stuff is involved
Hmm.
in contracting.
So for people who are not necessarily interested in joining a trade school, what kind of high school classes or college classes should they potentially take?
If they're heading toward a management job or something like that.
Yes.
So, anything I think with numbers, you have to have a basic understanding. So math is usually typically important.
Hmm.
Uh, Management programs, finance, if you're going to head into architecture, like I ended up,
Hmm.
and then moved into this. Anything related to drawing and creativity, again, math features pretty high in a lot of uh, the management side, I think, of construction. But you don't have to be a super math whiz. You don't need calculus. You just need basic math.
Mhm.
Um, I think the things again that are most important in the construction industry are things that you bring with you. They're not things that you necessarily need to pursue. Are you responsible?
Mhm.
Can you be on time? It's important. Projects move on schedules.
Yeah, I'm
So
sure
that
being
kind of
on
stuff.
time is probably a big one.
It is a very big one.
All right, let's see. So I'm going to wait a moment to see if there's any more questions in the chat. Give everybody a little bit of time to type here.
So one thing I'll throw out while we're taking a lull. A lot of people are unsure about how to get into the construction trades. Like, where do you start? Do you go to a contractor? Do you go? So, we represent union contractors and work with our union partners in the building trades programs. And that's a fantastic pathway straight out of high school, if you choose to do that, to join an apprenticeship program. They're typically, 3, 4, 5 year programs. They
Hmm.
train you while you work. You get paid while you work. And that's a great opportunity. So a number of the programs even offer 2 year associate college degrees with the completion of the apprenticeship. And that's a difference for a lot of people coming out of high school will end up, if they go to a 4 year college, with some debt. If you go into an apprenticeship program, you don't end up with debt. You're actually getting paid the whole way, and the program is free.
Thank you. So we have another question here. Has technology impacted how things are done in the trades? And do you see anything on the horizon that'll make more changes?
Well, all of the things that you read about in technology are starting to impact construction in a major way. There are things called BIM, Building Information Modeling, 3D virtual models of every little piece of the building in order
Hmm.
to understand the interactions of those pieces before you actually build it, because you can create problems in building a building where two things need to be in the same place at the same time. That doesn't work. So they do it virtually. BIM is a big thing. AI is artificial intelligence is starting to come into construction. There are large, heavy equipment, bulldozers, and things like that are starting to be run autonomously. They're run by computer systems, and they use GPS uh, um, location in order to control where they're grading dirt and how it's pushed around. And
Hmm.
there's a lot of tech. But again, I want to emphasize that's a big part, but construction's still hands-on. You can't build a building without using your hands.
Well, thank you, Sean. So I'm gonna go ahead and, oh, we got a question here. So what opportunities would you recommend for juniors, 11th graders, that are interested in the industry? Is there apprenticeships with a lower age threshold?
So that is a difficulty right now, that you can be exposed to the industry, but not a part of it until you're 18. That is an important piece. And most of the apprenticeship programs require that you have a driver's license and be able to get yourself back and forth. But at 18, yes, you can absolutely get involved in all of it. At 17, learn about it. Do as much as you can. Prepare yourself. Learn how to use a tape measure if you don't know how to do that. Learn how to, just some of the simple things in construction. One thing that I find in talking to anybody that works in the trades is a lot of times they started out with their family members, their uncle, their cousin, their brothers, their dad, whoever it might be, working around the house, working on cars, doing stuff with their hands. So if you like that, the more you can do of it, the better prepared you'll be.
Thank you. Are there any more questions? Give it just a moment or two. All right. If not, then thank you so much for your time and sharing your story. Students, be sure to check out all the building trades career chats that we'll be adding to the landing page to learn from other employers, educators, and community partners who are providing career pathway support and opportunities in our region. And share what you find interesting with the adults in your life. All right. So thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thanks.